the Ukrainian defensive line has collapsed, as Russia makes another massive breakthrough. It's day 518 of Russia's operation in Ukraine. Let's dive deeper. Starting from the Svatove sector. In my previous video, I reported how Russian forces captured this small area and were putting pressure on Avdiivka. Now listen carefully, this area is very strategically important, as it has a road junction. Two very important roads lead westwards from this junction. One is leading to Kopanki, which will offer higher elevated positions. And another goes to Nadia, which is on a lower elevated position. As Russian forces want to take Nadia, they cannot directly push along the road, as they will be exposed from a higher elevated position. So Russian forces made a very good decision to advance along the first road, which secured their flank and provided them with higher elevated positions. Simultaneously, they started advancing from multiple directions towards Nadia. If you recall, in my last video I already said, Russians would do something like this. So now, the Ukrainian forces around the Suriyak village were in a very bad situation, as Russian forces were also advancing from the south, which then forced them to withdraw from the village. As a result, the defensive line of Ukrainian forces collapsed in this area, and Russian forces were able to take this huge area under their control. In total, it is around 6 kilometers in depth, all captured within 24 hours. Furthermore, Russian forces also managed to expand their prior bridgehead. In my previous report, I mentioned how most of the Ukrainian forces withdrew from Novouharivka, and Russian forces were cautiously advancing on it. Now, as per the latest report, Russian forces launched an attack from multiple directions. Consequently, they were successful in capturing this large area, and further expanded their bridgehead. Sources say Russian forces are actively attacking Tverdoklebove, while there's rumor that it is already under Russian control, which is yet to be confirmed. Please keep in mind, the info coming from the field is delayed for obvious reasons. When we zoom out, it becomes evident that this advance is as significant as the prior one. In total, Russian forces have captured 3 villages. This advance is confirmed by both sides. Sources say Russia might launch something big, as they are having massive success. Moving to the Suriyak sector. Today, Ukrainian forces launched one of the biggest attacks in their counteroffensive. In my previous report, I mentioned that Russian forces temporarily retreated to higher elevations due to heavy Ukrainian shelling. However, they managed to regain control of that area. Nevertheless, their hold on the area would be short-lived, as Ukrainian forces were preparing to unleash a massive mechanized assault. According to Russian sources, Ukrainian armed forces, comprising around 80 armored vehicles, launched a powerful column attack on the northeast part of the village. The pressure on the Russian forces was immense, and they responded with everything at their disposal, striking the Ukrainian armor with artillery, ATGMs, drones, and mortars. Despite the fierce resistance, Ukrainian forces were able to penetrate the defensive lines at 3 locations. It is reported that they suffered losses of around 20 pieces of equipment in this attack, which included Leopards and Bradleys, among others. However, the battle was far from over. Another group of around 10 armored vehicles from the Ukrainian reserve units was en route to reinforce the attack. Russian forces, undeterred, continued their efforts to repel the assault, which resulted in the destruction of another 5 pieces of equipment. In total, it is reported that Ukraine lost around 25 heavy equipment in both of the attacks. Currently, the intensity of the fighting has decreased. Russian forces are inflicting heavy artillery strikes. Ukrainian forces are regrouping and evacuating from the contested area. Many sources indicate that Ukrainian forces managed to penetrate deep into the Russian defensive line, but due to the fog of war, frontline change will likely be confirmed in my next report. Subscribe for more frontline updates. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.